So we are here at the 2025 Next Forum at the incredible Philadelphia Union League, and I'm here with IRA Robbins from Valley Bank. And IRA just finished up his panel, the keynote speech at the end of the day here. And IRA, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're enjoying the day and enjoying the session so far.
You chose an amazing place. As someone that loves history, being able to connect with someone like George Washington and sort of where we sit today and the foundation as to why they built this country. And as a banker, I feel like I'm able to really continue to live that. So great place. It's been an amazing venue so far and a great conference. So thank you for having me.
So one of the questions I wanted to ask you that kind of stemmed directly from your comments on the panel is I'm wondering what advice you have for some smaller banks who are very concerned about having an excellent culture and they want to empower their people to do the right thing and be excellent community bankers, but they might be butting up against regulatory issues.
Right.
So what advice do you have?
And I think it's an important challenge that we all face. I mean, to me, it's what is the purpose of your organization? Do you understand your client segment? And then being able to find people that are empowered to really serve that client segment. I say all the time to our associates, take your thumb, put it on the ground, and when you lift it up, it should be 10 times the size of what it was when you put it down. The challenge as leaders is how do you create an environment that really allows someone to necessarily do that? And I think that's really what we try to focus on at Valley, in making sure that we have a growth mindset that says we have an ability to let you make a decision. And sometimes those decisions are wrong and we don't jump on you for when those decisions are wrong. We're very, very stringent with our regulators, understanding that there's certain lines that we can't cross. But when you have an ability to push something because it's the right thing for a client, then we empower our people to push those things. And that connects purpose and ability and thumbprint. And in our mind, when you connect a client to the ability to really grow, even if it's something that's on the gray with a regulatory perspective, you can still push that forward, and we encourage that in our organization.
Yeah, it's a great analogy. It really is, and the visual behind it. What do you think we need to do as an industry to sort of rewind the clock, or even as a country, just to rewind the clock 20, 30 years and get back to continuing to do the right thing for people if they're not able to be banked today?
We need to start by opening our mouths and let our voices be heard, and that is everyone. We are fortunate today to have a regulatory environment that wants to be inclusive, that wants to put products and services back into the banking space. And we can sit here and say, it's easy not to say anything. We need to open our mouths, show the regulators what we can do, tell them the benefits from an economic perspective to the banking industry, and tell them the benefits from an economic society perspective. We build businesses is what banks do. We give opportunities to individuals, right? We have an understanding in our country that says equal outcome is where we should strive for, and I disagree with that. Banks provide equal opportunity, and when we focus on opportunity, not outcome, then the country grows. And as in bankers that sit in this world today, we need to open our mouths, go to Washington, and talk about different business lines that have been excluded and tell them why it should be back in. But if we don't tell them, it's not going to happen. So the onus is on us.
You would recommend to any type of bank, small banks, to be part of organizations?
I would say, align with a trade association that fits who you are from an organization perspective. But once again, don't rely on someone else to do it. We have an opportunity where the regulators want to hear from us. You have a business line that you think is going to be good for the community you serve, tell the regulator. Your silence is what's going to have the problem. Don't do it through a trade association. You should own it, especially as a bank CEO, especially as a leader. You're put there to have an impact, not to be quiet.
Yeah. One of the alarming statistics that came out from one of your fellow panelists was there was 197 banks in this country between $3 billion in assets and $3 trillion in assets, only 197. And that number is becoming less and less. Not at an alarming rate, but it's still going in the wrong direction. Is there something else that we need to do, band together, to go right
I'll
to
tell
people?
you an even more alarming statistic. 2008, 2009, in the financial crisis, the top 4 banks had 22% of the consumer deposit market share. The top 4 banks today have 45% of the consumer deposit market share. We as a country are falling into a trap where there will be 4 banks that determine access to capital in this country. Because without deposits, there's no ability to lend.
Yeah.
That is a sad, sad place for our country to be, right? The ability to start an entrepreneur business, the ability to come from an economic here, on the left side where you have nothing, all the way up to where you have something, is a function of access of capital. And if you don't have deposits, you don't have the ability to lend into those spaces. So to me, the contraction of what we're seeing in number of banks between that space is 1,000% correlated to the fact that all the deposits have flowed into the larger banks. So the first thing we can do is begin to level the playing field and get those deposits back into industries like us, back into banks that want to have an impact on our country. First thing's deposit modernization. There's a bill coming forth in the banking committee soon. We need to begin to open our voices, reach out to our members of Congress, and support the Haggerty bill. These things will move deposits back to our banks, and that will inevitably align with the allocation of capital across our country, which is so important.
Ira, thank you very much
for
for
the
being
time.
here.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.